First of all, I wanted to speak on a few different things, man. I think that there's some important subjects and topics. We got politics, we got crypto, we got activism, we got business, we got tokenomics, man. We got really a lot of different things that we can cover. And then we got the community as a large and as a whole. And as we really talk about the community, let me start there first, man. Because I think that we are people and we young men and young women in this game that's immature in our positions. When it comes to being a part of organizations where black men got power, ever since I was a child, I've been a part of that. You understand me? I've seen black men with power. I've seen black men who distorted and used their power the wrong way. I've seen corruption. I've seen things be built and I've seen things be fall. You understand me? Well, since I was young, I've been teaching grown men on how to be men before I was a man myself. And that was just by sharing the information that was important to me, important into others. You understand me? I always go say the only thing that impressed me is unity. I know y'all seen me post a few things these last few weeks, and you may not know where they come from. You understand me? And my intentions are always good. You understand me? Because I always want us to win. You understand me? That's what I'm here for. I want us to win. And the only way we gonna be able to win is if we get to a better place. You understand me? In society and as young men and women with our leadership. Because a lot of people find themselves in positions of leadership and they not leaders and they don't want to be leaders. And that's understood. And a lot of people have spoken that and told, you understand me, and said that they never wanted to be leaders. But by having a platform, having attention, you by default become a leader because people follow you. They follow your example, your temperament, the way you move, the way you act, the way you dress, the way you talk. You understand me? Your ambitions, aspirations, character, influence, personality, the whole nine. And some of us are undeservingly in leadership positions, and all of us still have to qualify to be better leaders, including myself. And so once we realize that it's a responsibility that we have, and that it's an extreme honored responsibility that we have, then we may see the opportunity as different. You understand me? Like, some of us get money, get some shine, right? And then the shine makes you an influencer or an influential person. Once you become this influential person, you understand me, where you may have just got in it because, shit, I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm out here getting money. This is what I'm doing. But you never said to yourself, I'm going to be a leader for my people. That's a different responsibility because now you got to weigh ethics and morality and work to be upright and righteous. You understand me? And so even if you deny it and say, I ain't trying to be a leader, whatever it may be, that's what you are. It's the same thing with a rapper that doesn't want to be a role model. You are a role model regardless because people model themselves off the role that you play in society. You understand me? So all of us have a standard that we must live by. You understand me? To where we have a responsibility that we must keep at the forefront of our minds every single time that we're going out in the way that we're moving. It's easy for us to be able to capitalize off our speaking abilities. You understand me? Capitalize off the way we know how to get into society and we know how to make money. And we know how to get into the minds of the people to implant ideas, right? Which, to the greater degree of how good we are, puts an even greater degree of accountability on what we do with the skill sets that we have. You understand me? And that's the true challenge that we have today. Is how do we challenge ourselves when it comes to our moral systems and the guides, you understand me, that we must press upon ourselves, even if the outward society is not pressing it on us. Because most people won't tell you because they happy at the job that you're doing, not realizing that this plays a larger role, right? And a larger role is how it affects generations to come. That the actions that we do now are not just time sensitive to this month, this year. No, these consequences have a ripple effect on us. You understand me? I can look at the history of white institutional behavior and their creation of documentation, their creation of Constitution and Magna Carta and charters and treaties and things of that nature throughout the consequence of history on how they was able to establish ideas and make them last throughout time and even enslave the people as we are today as citizens under a corporation. So as citizens under a corporation, not understanding how to move, whether it's public or private or whatever it may be, we don't have nobody here has the wherewithal, has the audacity to speak on another man or woman that is a slave under the very reality that you are, even if you are a more comfortable slave in this reality. Not until we have the tools necessary to get their mind out of this matrix, to help them better their habits, because it's three different factors when we factor in environmental things or when we factor in things that control us. You have, number one, your individual ideas that we have. Everybody wants to be an individual. It's the most dangerous thing, right? There's nothing wrong with your uniqueness, your perspective. You understand me? Your genuineness, your originality. That's beautiful. It's the perspective that you bring to the collective. But the point is that you bring it to the collective so that it improves the collective, not so that the collective moves around the individual. Right? So each working part learns to respect the next working part so that they can work congruent with each other and they can all have function, which gives them purpose. So we have our individual ideologies and beliefs in the way that we move, the way that we see each other. Human beings are distinct in that manner. You see tigers, they all have the same instincts. They all have the same movement and characteristics. Lions, animals. They don't have individual characteristics that control their behavior. Human beings are unique in that particular way. You understand me? Now, in another way that we influence is by environment. The environment controls the way we think. And when we understand that social media is an environment because it is what we observe within our mind. And the content controls what we think as we observe the content and create our hypothesis on life. You understand me? As we utilize the content to make our decisions throughout life. So if we're not putting something that's good or positive in the environment, then it only controls the behavior of people to manipulate them in ways that you want them to move, but may not be good for their entirety, right? So capitalism, see, when you have money without character, it can make a devil out of men. And this is where we always working on. And this is, I always say the disclaimer, I don't speak from a place of perfection. I don't speak as if, oh, Keys got to say he think he got it figured out. I'm working. And I'm speaking on the things I'm working on myself. Because when you're in a position of influence and power, it's very easy to become a devil. That small degradation of your character when you start to accept unethical behavior makes you a devil when it becomes the norm and you justify your norms because of your success. Your success not being measured based on the 42 laws of Ma'at, but your success being measured based off the 48 laws of power. See, now this is where we get into a different kind of conversation. And most can't talk this heavy because most don't think. Only you know how to get a little paper. I move a little bit. You know what I mean? You can tell somebody how to make a little money. I don't care if you can make money. Our culture got it bad the way that we treat each other, the way that we act around each other. There's 48 laws of power versus the 42 laws of Ma'at. Why? Because the laws of Ma'at is all about weighing the heart on the scale based on righteousness, based on your morality, based on your principles and your deeds, truth, order, and justice. And most people ain't got none of those within their thought process on how they move. Because the opposite of that is the violent, the deceit, the disorder. And so if you have to weigh the laws of Ma'at against the 48 laws of power, because the 48 laws of power have made so many men indecent and immoral to where you only try to create and produce power through deceit and tricknology, the knowledge of how to trick each other, the knowledge of experimental manipulation, the knowledge of how do I conquer another person's mind, heart, and feeling so that they can produce the will that I want them to. And it's not even the strongest way of going about it because we naturally have a power. See, a man that is naturally power don't have to practice deceit. It's the man who is naturally weak that have to practice deceit. Because the way that they got the black man is that they confuse us and tricked us to make us believe that we weren't, you understand me, who we are. They had to make us forget who we were. If you walk into a room and you got a bunch of strong people and you feel weak, you got to practice deceit in the minds of those people to make them feel weak so that you can conquer these people, but mentally first. You play chess with their mind to make them feel weak, not that they are. You have to make them forget who they are, what they can do, what they're capable of. Then you have to get them depending on you for their confidence. Oh, man, I got to come to you, man. You make it sound right. You got to destroy them so that you can build them up. It's the pimp and the hoe mentality. It's the master and the slave paradigm. It's the same game that's been running on this whole entire time. We just learning to utilize it against each other, and then we call ourselves successful. That's all it is. We learn to use it against each other and call ourselves successful. It's the Machiavellian thought process without the old murder code. Everybody wants to be, you understand me, the gangster, but the gangster don't even want to be a gangster. He only did it because he had to. He was bullied into the reality. He knew no better. They say ignorance is bliss, and it's a lie. Because reality, knowledge is bliss. Enlightenment, once you know better, you can do better. If you don't know better, you can't do better. If you never experienced a certain aspect of life, how can that be blissful? Because you don't know what you're missing. So, yes, we do take advantage of each other. Yes, there is an act to where you shame the devil so that he can act better as a God, but only when the person is acting unrighteous. That's when you want to produce shame in the heart of some men, because you want that self-accusing spirit to make them feel and bother their soul. So, yeah, you want to shame the man when he's not doing something that's right. But when a person is working and trying to produce evidence of their faith in themselves, then you don't shame them because it robs them of their ability to be able to go and produce for self. You rob them of their confidence when, oh, I thought this was a good idea. And we see it. So I'm speaking on the standards of what I'm seeing in society. And we have to be careful, because what we start doing is that we take on intersectionality. See, the way original man go do stocks, the way original man go do crypto, the way original man go do marketing, the way original man is going to do the options and the credit and the real estate, it's different than the way the artificial man go do it. But if we take on their tactics, and they are the masters of deceit, and we learn those tactics, then we come back with those tactics in our community, not thinking about the ethics of it all. No, we only care whether it works. We don't care whether it's good. We care whether it's effective, because they've learned to create systems. They are a systematic people. And see, learning is very important. Learn from the devil, because he makes no excuses. They know how to work together in a collective manner. Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, learn from the white man. He never said become what you learn. Learn from them, but don't become what you learn. So we learn so that we can utilize the knowledge and information that produces a better agenda. So yeah, I want to see everybody win. I can go into the details and teach you how I win. I'm not going to shame somebody else's platform. But this is what I see, and we take on their tactics. Well, if I can make you feel bad because you just lost some money in the crypto market, then perhaps I can get you over here into my market so I can get more money into my pocket. It's a game. I get it. I'm seeing it all over the internet. And I'm like, why are we reacting like this? Aren't we happy our people are finally? Because you have to understand, it's a very small percentage of our people even doing this. The rest of them are still out there scamming. The rest of them still out there working jobs. People trying to get out the matrix. And that's all we do is we shame each other tactics. Just because you took a different route than somebody else doesn't mean that their route towards freedom wasn't correct and righteous. No, I want to see you win. If I'm speaking on something, whether I'm comparing stocks or crypto, whether I'm comparing real estate and credit or whatever it may be, it's to speak on the institutional behavior. Like I'm talking about the banks, right? Man, F the banks. I'm not talking about the person that go to the bank. I get why you go because of the ignorance of you not knowing. But I'm speaking on the institutions that are owned by these historical white families. I'm not speaking on the black man that don't have knowledge of self. That person that votes. You understand? I'm speaking on the system of the politics. Because I know that the vote means to wish or to vow to a deity. So for me, I'm speaking on the bigger picture all of the time. Because I understand how this plays out. I understand that we have the ability right now to create $1 billion within our culture. Y'all want to know why we ain't doing it? Anybody dare to guess why we ain't got it? It's only because we don't come together and work together in a collective manner. Once we learn to work together in a collective manner, everything is ours. And I can actually put together the plan full detail and it's done. I want you to go look out in this world and I want you to go see standards and examples of the things that you wish to see. I want you to go look at the things that you don't wish to see anymore. And I want you to just start to delete those things and erase those things from your vibration completely. And the things that you wish to see, I want you to enhance them even more. The most dangerous thing is when we want to see the blood sport of us murdering each other. We want to see us fighting each other rather than working together. That's all we want. And I'm a bigger picture God. There's so many big things in the world for us to focus on. And all we know how to do is focus on the BS, the problems, the issues. We committed to our distractions and escapism. But if we had that same commitment to power, we'd be in a different place right now. You understand me? There's infinite wealth strategies that we can utilize today. Infinite wealth strategies. You understand me? And I can literally, when it comes to my family, whether it's my father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, I'm not one in the family that bring the family together. When it comes to the culture, I'm not one that tell the brothers, the influencers, you understand me, the motivators, the speakers, the entrepreneurs, is like, no, we got to be leaders. I'm the one that want to see us become better leaders. You understand me? That's my role, is to help become a better leader myself, to learn, because I'm always working to learn, right? And try to help everybody else become better leaders. What gives me the audacity? Simply because I got the will to. Simply because it's on my heart. That's why. So when the market is the way it is, and I know I talked about 48 laws of power, and a lot of people did not want to hear that. But let's be honest. When I go about looking at these 48 laws of power, it's sad because I've seen so many people pick up that book and lose themselves. I've seen people literally lose their mind playing with that book. I've seen people get themselves killed playing power games. You understand me? With weak rules. Never outshine the master. But who told y'all was masters in the first place? The audacity of the boys. People swear they masters. You understand me? And ain't mastered a goddamn thing. In reality, what it did was it created this false identity, you understand me, in a lot of people, for them to make themselves feel more important than they actually are. And then people start playing this game of deceit. And one of the bigger issues with it is that it was very, very obvious. It's like, bruh, who the hell, you out here playing 48 laws of power, and everybody done read the book and ain't got no power. So tell me, how is that a good book? You out here talking about, no, well, I read it so that I won't be deceived. But you being deceived every day. The arch deceiver got you taking all of the vaccines and still taking your kids to their school and still utilizing the banks in the way that you use it. You understand me? And a multitude of other different ways. It's like, come on now. You still being deceived. You looking for the deceit from your brother, but your main enemy is getting away with it every day. That's the issue, is that we looking at the wrong deceiver. You understand me? That ain't no real power. If power has to be kept up through deceit and technology, then you're gonna always have to utilize deceit and technology in order to maintain the power. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a tool that we utilize in order to better ourselves, of course. But my statement, and I always want to send ripples of shock to people. You understand me? That's my whole thing. I want to break paradigms to where it break the hold and the curses that we have with certain entities. We be emotionally connected to things. You say something about it, brother. No, that's my Bible. No, I swear by those rules. Those make me better. I hear you, bro. You ain't know what power was naturally. You ain't know how to move upright as a man and learn the proper handling of people. I ain't get that from 48 Laws of Power. What that did is it'll let me see the deceit and the evilness that and how men utilize their tactics of power. Yeah, for that particular aspect, it was an interesting read. But then I quickly said, wait a minute. I'm not about to utilize those goddamn rules myself. I remember being a young one and influenced by that. I'm like, man, I'm a sucker if I'm out here trying to use these rules. That ain't gonna give me no real power. That's a personality that people are adapting.